What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Pizza Puff. So they're calling this one a Nectaron, Citra, Vic Secret, and Superdelic hopped double IPA. It comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed, time of review, and this can is approximately 3.5 weeks old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer, so big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with, and they hooked me up with 12 beers in total, 6 of which were unique, and 5 I am going to review on the channel because the 6th one I already reviewed, so I'll just enjoy that one off camera. Now I'm starting with this one because I love when Hop Butcher pays homage to Chicago-centric anything really, but food specifically, and pizza puffs are apparently quite the hot commodity in Chicago. Now, I think they're one of those foods that if you're from Chicago, you probably really enjoy, maybe outside of the area, who knows? I've never had them, but I've seen them on like different shows on like YouTube and whatnot, and more or less they're kind of like an elevated or top tier like Hot Pocket. It's like a dough, it's a dough filled kind of deep fried snack where they take pizza fillings and put it into dough and deep fry it, and it's supposed to be quite tasty. I'm sure it's a great drunk food, but yeah, I love it. I love, you know, the Dan Jetsa artwork and everything, so yeah, I'm really excited about this one. Now, never had Superdelic hops, at least to my knowledge, so I'm really curious to see how the Superdelic hops are. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this one. 3.5 weeks old, and you know, it has the Hop Butcher haze look to it. Yeah, I'm expecting just deliciousness. It's Hop Butcher, good hop combo, and I'm gonna pour it all in. Now I keep these upside down now, so kind of like a heavily fruited sour. They're hop forward beers because a lot of times they have a huge, like, you know, cake of probably yeast and hop particulates and everything at the bottom that a lot of times you pour in and it's like chunky. So I want to kind of make sure that I kind of roll it too before I turn on the camera. So anyway, yeah, that has that milky, darker haze look to it. It has like this deep orange color, just over a finger of a super creamy, off-white, almost eggshell white colored head. Hold it up to the light. You can't see any light through that. And in the Hop Butcher glass, it's looking fantastic in my opinion. It's looking beautiful. It's a Hop Butcher hazy for sure. Let's get a nose. Ooh, a little bit of hop burn. Yeah, I'm getting a huge like green astringency. Like there's a lot of but after that, as that dissipates in my kind of, you know, I start getting used to the aroma. It's great. So I'm getting a lot of like, I would say more so than anything, like under ripened like mangoes, peaches, apricots. It's stone fruit. There's a little bit of citrus, like a lemon lime thing. Yeah, definitely lemon lime. Pineapple, papaya, honeydew melon, creamier, like sweeter, fleshier tropical fruits. Yeah, it smells awesome. Yeah, I mean that, so now I'm starting to get like, and I haven't said this in a while, shout out to a good friend of mine, fellow beer tuber Matt over at Massive Beers. He would say like tomato stock. I'm kind of getting like that fresh vegetal kind of nose where it's like the stalk of a tomato and not so much the tomato itself. It just has that greenness to it. And it's not, now as I'm starting to smell, it doesn't have like a green astringency, a hot burn. It doesn't have that necessarily. It's more of like just the greenness you'd get from like a garden. It smells really good. What I like about it doesn't smell, the perceived sweetness in the nose is not over the top, and sometimes with these 7.5% double IPAs from Hop Butcher, they can be. It's not as explosive with the fruits. Like it's not like intense and like punching me in the nose, but it's nice. It's very nice. It's really, really damn solid nose. Like I enjoy it quite a bit, and I like that like tomato stock thing going on. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers to everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. That's really nice. Off first sip, not my favorite double IPA from Hop Butcher, but still really strong, really good. It's just, I think based on the nose and what off that first taste, it's like not an explosion of fruitiness and juiciness, and just, there's a little bit lacking sweetness here, which is kind of weird because a lot of the Hop Butcher beers can be a little bit overly sweet. By mouthfeel, absolutely top tier. Body on this is like higher side of medium, lower side of full for 7.5%. Something they've been doing, and I know Fiden's has been doing it, where you get these beers that kind of look like almost heavily fruited sours. They like look so thick. It's only 7.5%, but like it looks like this is a triple IPA at 10.5%, and it's not. So the body is, you know, pretty thick for the ABV, and then the mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's fucking incredibly creamy. By mouthfeel, hands down the best thing about this beer. No questions asked to me right now. The taste. The sweetness is starting to ramp up a little bit. It's not like still overly sweet, but it's starting to acclimate my palate to it. From the palate, a lot of citrus. Again, lemon lime. I almost feel like there's Motueka in here, but lemon lime. And there's Vic Secret, and sometimes for Vic Secret, and then there's Nectaron, and then there's a Superdelic. Is that like another Australian or New Zealand hop? I don't know, but it definitely has a lemon lime kind of fruitiness at the front of the palate, like a little bit of grapefruit and orange. As it passes through, I get a little bit of that under-ripened mango, peach, apricot, nectarine, stone fruit. Middle of the palate, I get a burst of like a fleshy, sweeter fruit. Again, honeydew melon, papaya, a little bit of pineapple. Now I'm also getting, and I, at the time I am reviewing this, about less than a week ago, I actually tried a dragon fruit for the first time ever. And I always used to get in dragon fruit beers, like a heavily fruited sour, or just anything with dragon fruit in it. I've never had dragon fruit up until earlier this week, or I guess within the past week. But I always get like this bubblegum kind of feeling to it, right? And I'd be like, is that coming from the dragon fruit? I've never had dragon fruit. Yes, it is. I had a dragon fruit. It tasted like a mixture of bubblegum and watermelon. I hated the little edible seeds because they're so like there's so many of them in each slice. I got like 4 or 5 slices of the actual fruit out of one fruit. And it was like $3 for the fruit. So a little bit pricey, obviously. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit bubblegum here. And because of that like fleshier kind of feeling to this beer, I could say there's dragon fruit in here now. And I wouldn't be wrong. I'm usually wrong, but you know, it's a little bit dragon fruit, a little bit of bubblegum, like, you know, and I say more honeydew melon, where the actual dragon fruit was more like watermelon. I like the finish though. The finish has this tomato stalk, green, grassy, slight hop burn feeling. It finishes full on dry, mild bitterness, but more dry than bitter. But I like that tomato stalk, like kind of fresh garden-esque finish. I mean, I'm always honest with you guys, and this is pretty damn good, but it's far from my favorite from them. I probably could have waited a couple weeks, like a week and a half, maybe even 2.5 weeks, drink this around like 5 or 6 weeks old. I think that hop burn would be gone, and maybe this beer would transition. I feel like nowadays with, you know, how much every brewery is like double and triple and quadruple dry hopping, and just the sheer amount of hops they're using in these beers. You know, you drink them a week or two old, and a lot of times it's just, for me, just too much. I know a lot of you like their hop burn, but for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, especially if it overwhelms. It doesn't overwhelm here. It's actually decent in here, but I'm just saying, I think I wait a couple weeks, and I think this would be even better. Overall, it's really nice though. I really like it. As I go back for each sip, I'm kind of getting more of that dragon fruit kind of bubblegum. And then bubblegum is probably just coming from the yeast, but it's mixing with the fruitiness and kind of giving me a dragon fruit kind of feel. 7.5%, I can feel it in my chest, nothing on the palate, that's fine. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now, I got to guess the tasting notes, which we will read after I rate this. I'm going to say they say something about stone fruits, whether they specify stone fruit or there's stone fruits on there. They might say something tropical. I'm going to say they say something about stone fruit, something tropical, and something citrus. That's what I think they're going to say. We'll see. But let me go one more sip and lock in a rating. I'm kind of between 2 ratings right now. But I'm going to be honest, based on, you know, what I'm saying here, I think this is really well made. It's really tasty. I think I could have waited a couple weeks. I wish there's a little bit more of like a juicy, sweeter fruit note in this one. I think it's a little bit tame from that perspective. The body and mouthfeel are spectacular. I like the dragon fruit note, that tomato stalk on the back of the palate, but as a whole, I don't think this is amazing, but really good. So Pizza Puff from Hop Butcher, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Giving this one a high 4 out of 5. I'll go 4.1 out of 5. I think it's pretty good, and I'm looking at the tasting notes right now, and I did okay, but there's one there's fucking no. So yeah, 4.1 out of 5. Tasting notes. Juicy mango. I said there's going to be stone fruits or specified stone fruits. They do say mango. I disagree with the juiciness. I don't think this beer is all that juicy, but definitely mango. I said peach, mango, apricot, whole nine. Candied berry. Fucking not to me. Like, there was no candied berry in here for me. Did I even mention berries? I don't think. I didn't even mention candy. This is, again, not all that, to me, sweet like a lot of their beers. But if someone got candied berry, more power to you. And then bright tropical, very generic. But yeah, I think there's a bright tropical fruit. And like I said, it's more like pineapple, honeydew, papaya, dragon fruits, kind of in that realm. And it's more like a fleshy sweeter. So if they said like sweet tropical, I think I'd be more in line. So basically 2 out of 5, 1.5 out of 5, something like that. I really didn't nail it. Price and availability, this is where it changes for everybody. I think in the Chicagoland area, these are $15 to $16 a 4-pack. And then once it hits distro, I know a lot of their 7.5% double IPAs here are typically like $20 to $21 a 4-pack. So you're talking, around $5 to $5.50 a can. Sometimes they're $5.99 for a single can, where the 4-packs are cheaper. Wherever you see it, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than Chicago because you're not local there. It has to make distro. Everyone has to make money. And availability, Hop Butcher getting great distro. If you can get beer sent to you from Tavour, sign up for Tavour. They get their beers on there occasionally. There's some other websites. You just type in Hop Butcher into the shopping link on Google, and you should be fine. Be able to find probably something. Maybe it won't be super fresh, and then there's a lot of places around the world that are getting distro of Hop Butcher. Here in Buffalo, New York, every 4 to 6 weeks, we see 2 or 3 of their beers. So if you want Hop Butcher, you can get them. You might have to trade for them. You might have to travel a little bit. You might have to place an online order, pay for shipping, but you can get your hands on them if you really want to, for the most part. Some of you might not be able to, period. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. I missed their 7.5% hazy double IPAs. This is a really good one, but just not, one of the best I've had. I look forward to trying the rest of them. They sent me a cool selection of beers, and I can't wait to get into. So huge thanks to Hop Butcher for this beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.